What up, and welcome back to another session with your coach, Eric. I'm going to be taking you guys through a recovery and restoration flow. So if you chose this title, you're probably feeling stiff and you chose the right title. So I'm going to start off with what's called a paint the fence. And all I'm basically going to do is I'm going to turn or reach as far back as I can. I'm going to flip my wrist up as much as I can. Keep my arms nice and straight and shoulders reaching towards the ground. I'm going to reach as far back as I can. Then I'm going to keep my wrist flexed like this, and I'm just going to drag my wrist all the way overhead. When I get to the top, I'm going to flip the wrist, and then I'm just going to do the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So I'm going to have my fingers facing up, and I'm flexing my wrists. I'm trying to drive them back towards me as much as possible. Nice straight arms. And then I'm just going to flip back and forth. All the way up to the top, I flip, and then I'm just going to flip all the way down. I'm trying to pretend like I'm scraping my fingers through sand, really spreading my fingers out. I'm doing my job right. Already I'm starting to feel the burn. I'm going to do about 3 more of these. So most of these first movements are designed to kind of open up the forearms and the wrist. We spent a lot of time in support, so this is good, just what the doctor ordered. All right, so for now, what I want to do is I'm going to take my wrists, I'm going to ball them up in a fist, and I want to put my thumbs inside actually, and I'm going to do big circles, and I'm going to start to straighten out my arms, and then I'm going to rotate my arms in. I'm going to make big circles through my elbows and through my wrists. So if I'm driving my wrist out here, I can get a good, strong activation in the shoulders and back. All right. So then from here, I call these Karate Kids. Basically what I want to do is pretend I got 2 bowls of hot soup. I'm going to drive the bowls forward. I'm going to drive or pull back. I'm driving my elbows as far back as I can, keeping my palms parallel to the earth. Then from here, I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to start to allow my hands and fingers to reach behind me. I'm trying to pretend I'm holding those bowls of soup. I'm going to reach as far back behind me as possible, really pinching and shrugging through the shoulders, called neutral. And then I'm just going to ride all the way around town until my wrists click at the front end. I can press them together and get a good stretch as I transition back to where I started. So again, palms facing up, pull the elbows all the way back, rotate, reach, trying your best to keep your palms facing up. I'm going to do about 5 of these. Again, all these moves look super duper simple, but they get the burn going. All right, moving into the last rep now. Feel like Karate Kid, like a ninja, warming up for karate. All right, so now what I'm going to do, we're going to get the hips involved. I'm going to drop down into a horse stance. I'm going to reach one side. I'm trapping or grabbing around the quad, and then I'm just leaning over. And then I'm just going to switch from right side to left side, staying low, driving my knees out, trying to warm up the hips now, a little bit. Get the body temperature to rise. I like to come up a little bit. All right, last move. This one's gonna look like a funky dance move, but we're gonna do our best. Feet shoulder width apart. I'm gonna fold over. I'm gonna round my spine, and then I'm gonna flatten out my spine. Here I'm pressing into my quads. I'm gonna lift my chest up as much as possible and stay forward. And then I'm just gonna round my back. We call these standing spinal waves, AKA standing cat-cows. We do about 3 more of these. So again, I'm just rounding, flattening everything out. One more. All right, so now we're gonna start building a total body mobility flow. For this total body flow, you're just gonna do as I do. I'm gonna try to break down the options, especially on the first round. From there, we'll start kind of adding some speed and tempo to this movement. We're gonna try to shoot for 2, maybe 3 rounds of this mobility flow. We'll see how it feels, right? So the first move, I'm gonna start off in a plank position. So from this plank position, I'm gonna work on pressing my hips back. I like to bend my knees slightly so that I can really drive my hips up into the air. So I'm basically in a down dog position. From here, I'm gonna straighten out my legs. And then I'm just gonna lean forward again. I'm hitting this plank position, lean over the wrist, gripping the floor with my fingertips and keeping my arms nice and straight. Making sure that I'm not sinking or sagging. And from here, I'm just gonna press, go back again. And now what I want to try to do is add what we call a bear squat. So I'm gonna bear, press back, take it down dog. Now I'm gonna drive my knees out, keep my spine flat, and reach my chest towards the ground as I squat. And I'm just gonna press my hips high, and then I'll lean forward. All right, so that's the first move. Already starting to feel the body's temperature rising. Let's go do that bear squat one more time. Keep the drive out. Keep the spine tall, chin up. And I'm just gonna come right back to the plank position. Now on this bear squat, if you're having a hard time staying active, no worries, just put the knees down, keep the spine long. You can fully modify it like so. Then from here, I'm gonna step into a front step. So in this front step, I have my left leg forward. I'm gonna rotate my left elbow up towards the sky. Then from here, I'm gonna switch back by pressing back and doing my bear squat. I'm gonna go to the opposite side, and I'm gonna hit my rotation. So when I'm rotating, I'm driving this elbow into my back pocket and fighting for a long back leg. And then I'm just gonna repeat again. Get it on the other side, again, long back leg, rotate and twist. So notice how each stage is getting a little bit harder. So if you start having a hard time, don't worry, just stay with the stage or the option right before. So right now, we're about to take it up another level. Driving the elbow in, watch this. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the elbow forward. I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to bring the back knee and touch my elbow. Alright, so this is just option 1. Then I'm just going to press back. And then I'm going to go option to the other side. Bring the elbow in, knee touches the elbow. If I have that, I'm going to go right through into the front kick. Now in this front kick position, I'm driving this knee out. I'm rotating my elbow back. I'm trying to open up my chest as much as possible. And I'll swing it right back to where I came from. Now we're working out, guys. All right, hit the other side. Again, I lift, bring the elbow so that the knee can meet. Kick it through. Here's what I'm talking about with the knee. Driving this knee out, driving this foot away from the opposite knee gives you a great hip opener. From here, I'm going to do it again on the opposite side. If you have to stick here, no worries. Just stop there, do your best to get the rest. And I'm just working my way through 3 on each side. Alright, so here's where things are going to switch up again. Maybe 1 more on each side. Always pressing back to that press back. Alright, so from this lunge, now I'm going to work on standing up. I put a little bend in the back leg and I drive the arms overhead. I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to put all the load into the front leg. And then I'm going to drive my arms back, pinch my shoulder blades, and rise through my standing split. So if you need to, you can just hang out here and just work on a flat back, driving through this bottom leg. This leg's just spotting, arms are back, and you're just staying tall through the spine. That's what's important here. Now, from here, I'm going to transition forward. I'm going to pull my knee to my chest, and then I'm going to reach overhead. Some of us are just going to hang out here. Those of you that are a little bit more advanced, cross the legs over. Start to sit, hinge, and reach forward. So my hips are hinging back, and I'm reaching forward. I'm just going to balance this whole time. Go right back down into the lunge. And I'm going to do my press back. Then I'm going to hit the opposing side. Do the same thing, come up to a lunge, bend that back knee, reach through the sky, drive the arms back. Some of us are just going to hang out here, stay tall, hold it for a couple breaths. Some of us are going to lift this back leg, drive through the back leg, pinch through the shoulders, long crown. Don't drop the head, don't stick the head up too high. And from here, I'm going to reach overhead. Like I said, option to hang out here. If you need more, cross the leg, rotate slightly, driving this knee out, reaching forward, and then going right back into it. All right, like I said, if you don't get it the first time, no worries. We're gonna do it a couple times. Now, if you do this full version on the first one, don't let your ego get you. If you need to modify, you can do this on the second one where you're just touching the back toe. And we're just transitioning side to side. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of heat in the lower body. That's the good stuff. Really heated yoga. We got all the heat we need right here. Driving the heels up, pinching the shoulder blades. Standing tall. Crossing the legs. Sitting back, reach forward. One more at each side. Stay with me, guys. If this feels hard, don't worry. We're gonna do this flow again. Woo. Practice makes perfect. One more, last rep. All right, so now that we got the hips nice and loose and warmed up, we're gonna go through a 90-90 stretch sequence. I'm gonna start off laying down on the floor. I'm gonna drive my knees out, lift through the chest, and from here. So option number one, we're gonna start off with the beginner version. So if any of these stretches start to feel too strong, just hang out in the stretch before. So I wanna start off by making my chest tall and driving my knees out. My heels are flat, so I'm almost like in a squat position. And then from here, I'm gonna work on turning my hips down. So I'm driving this knee out, and then I'm driving this knee in. Now, the tricky part is to be able to do this without losing the hip off the ground. So if the hip starts to lift off the ground, then I've gone too far. So I'm keeping this hip glued to the ground, and then my chest and spine stays neutral. So I'm not shifting in my upper body. All the action is happening in my lower body. This right here is about all I have. So I'm just gonna pull the knee back up, and then I'm just gonna rock over to the other side. Now the other side is actually my tight side, but I'm gonna do my best, right? And I'm only gonna go as far as I can without allowing my spine to change shapes or my hip to come off the ground. I'm doing my best, right? Now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add this turn, and then I'm gonna add a little rotation. I'm gonna twist my upper body towards the knee that's down. And then I'm just gonna shift, and I'm just gonna rock side to side. So now what I want to do, next level, take the arms out of the picture. Then I'm just going to rock my knees down as far as I can. Once my upper body starts moving or hip starts coming off the ground, I stop, I bring it back. Then I'm just going to go to the opposite side. I'm doing my best. And I'm just driving side to side. Good, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to add a little pails and rails. So we're going to drive the knee in. Notice how I have one hand down. That helps me out. Then with this hand, I'm going to trap the knee. I trap the knee down, and I'm going to create some resistance. And with my hand, I'm going to drive my knee into my hand, and I'm just going to work on opening up this knee as much as possible. Once I've reached about here, I'm going to take a big inhale. Big exhale. And I'm gonna try to exhale and sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Right, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll drive the hand upward. Take a big inhale. Take a big exhale. And then I always take the time to kind of sink into my hip as much as possible. And then I'm going to do one more, driving into the hand. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. So that's 3 on that side. Oh man, that's open now. Then I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the other side and do the same thing. I open up this knee, driving the hand open, driving. Big inhale, big exhale. Sinking into the stretch, sinking down into the hip, trying to sit my hip onto the floor. Driving this right knee out too. Don't forget about that one. Big inhale, driving the knee open, driving the knee open. This hand is trying to press up, it's resisting, it's creating resistance. And then now I'm just gonna exhale, all the way down. 2 more, big push. Big inhale, big exhale. I'm going to do a bonus rep because this is my bad side. Driving the knee up, pushing with the hand. Big inhale, big exhale, sinking deep. Good. And then now I'm just going to do a couple where I come full range of motion. And I can just work on kind of sliding my feet in, sinking into that stretch. All right, guys, and that's all I have for you today. So I hope that recovery and restoration flow helped you out and that you're feeling better, and we'll see you next time.